Hi, Align. I'd like us to do a practice today in terms of starting to get to know thinking, in terms of what happens, all the work that has to happen to actually think. Because usually when we are thinking, it's not just in words. There are images that are coming up. There are things that people are saying. There can be even smells or tastes. There's a lot that goes to thinking. So there can be a practice that we can do where we actually invite thinking to happen, whether it's planning or worrying or whatever it is. We invite it to happen so that we can start to watch it. We can start to see, what does it bring? Does it bring a sense of relaxation and rest? Or does it start to bring a lot of fatigue, a lot of effort, maybe even tension? And so we do that so we can really get to know how the mind works in terms of projecting that image to that thing that's going to happen, and what you think is going to happen, who will say this and what will say that, and it's going to get done or not get done. I want you to start to get to know what it feels like to do all that projecting all the time. So for our practice today, it'll be a meditation, but probably not something you usually think of for meditation. We're going to invite lots of thinking. So if you would like to lie down, you can, or you can sit, but make sure you're comfortable. You can have the eyes opened or closed. And just take some time here to let the body rest. Take some time to allow yourself to just rest and breathe. Just starting to feel the natural sensations of the in-breath and the natural sensations of the out-breath. Starting to feel the presence of the body and the breath. Feeling all the way down to the toes and out to the fingertips and all the way up to the head. Just resting in that feeling of the breath and the body. And as you rest in that broad awareness, just invite and wait for thinking to happen. Even invite planning, things that haven't been done. See what happens when you try to figure them out or imagine all the things you need to do. I want you to take time to watch all those situations. All the people, what they're going to say, what you have to say, maybe what you didn't say, what you should have said. And just notice what it brings. Does any tension start to happen in the skull or the eyes? Does any fatigue start to happen around the eyes and the head? I want you to see the kind of effort that starts to be needed to always be projecting and thinking. But always keep up this image of what you need to do or what hasn't been done. And if it's only bringing fatigue, if it's only bringing things like tension, ask yourself, is it worth it? Even though it might be true that you have to get all these things done and they're not done or whatever you're thinking, is it worth it in this moment to be in tension or exhaustion from that projecting? And if it isn't, just let your being know that it's not worth it. It's just too much effort. Whether or not these things will work out or not work out, I'm just tired right now from always thinking about it and imagining it. It's not worth it. And just see if a moment of silence, just a second, may be present. When your being rests in that deep knowing it's not worth it, your being may get to rest in a moment of silence, in a moment of contentment, just here. And then it may come all back up, the planning and the thinking and the imagining. That's okay. Let it come in, have the direct observation of it. What does it bring? What if it just brings exhaustion? If it just brings tension, is it worth it? Your being will know. And if it's not worth it, just see what happens when you deeply know that. Do you get to rest again in silence? So as you do your meditation, allow and invite the thinking and projecting and the imagining. And just see naturally if your being will say no thank you. See if those sense of spaces and silence become larger and larger as your being deeply rests in that it's not worth it. Just resting as long as you'd like in that meditation as you rest and breathe.